Welcome to Night City, Southern Virginia University, for today's women's soccer match, featuring the Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon College and the Southern Virginia Knights. Total reporting and Southern Virginia University staff, thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. The NCAA and USA South Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in positive, racial, or sexist comments or intimidating actions directed at coaches, players, officials, or any other team representatives will not be tolerated in our ground floor. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages, tobacco, and strictly prohibited. Please stay away from the fan area and keep that shit. Thank you for cooperation. Go Knights. In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer to be offered by all the chaplains.
Gathered together today to participate in the process because we have a good game and no harm is wanting to play this match while we learn to respect them. We love you and Jesus, and we respect you.
And now, for your starting lineup, starting tonight for the Yellow Jackets. At forward, number 2, Jackson, 1 point. At midfield, number 4, Madison, 1 charge. At defense, number 5, Talia out. At midfield, number 6, Caroline, 1 charge. At midfield, number 11, Alexa, 4. At defense, number 12, Abigail Popsy. At defense, number 13, Maddie Stubbsfield. At midfield, number 14, Emma Owen. At forward, number 18, Allie Lindsay. At defense, number 25, Kaylee Shirley. And in goal, number 0, Sarah Moore. The Yellow Jackets are coached by Patrick Corbett and assisted by Marissa Lance and Celia Murray. And now, starting for your night. At midfield, number 2, Courtney Montez. At defense, number 4, Haley Bass. At midfield, number 8, Essie Snyder. At defense, number 15, Ashley Andrew. At midfield, number 16, Dylan Pearson. At defense, number 17, Rachel Foster. At defense, number 21, Tessa Miller. At forward, number 27, Addie Newman. At forward, number 33, Natalie Rosie. At midfield, number 40, Lieutenant Kirk. And in goal for the night, 7-0, Brett Manuel. The match is coached by Rob Dill and featured by Blake Thompson. Matthew, all 3 drives to take the back and make it not time. Thank you. And the ball. Throw. Goes out.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Knight Stadium on the campus of Southern Virginia University in beautiful Buena Vista, Virginia. I'm Colby Camp, and alongside me this evening will be Cece Bands as the Southern Virginia women's soccer team welcomes Randolph-Macon soccer team here for a non-conference showdown. Cece, good to have you here in the booth tonight, and what do you expect from this matchup?
I expect this game to be a good matchup between both of these teams as they both have really good records, and currently in their conference play, both of them are in second, as Randolph-Macon is currently second in the ODAC conference, and Southern Virginia is second in the USA South. So both of these teams, they've got some good players, they've got some things going, and they've had good records going so far this season.
Yeah, it should be an exciting matchup, as always. Always fun to welcome Randolph-Macon to campus. They have been a university that we compete against quite often across many sports, and always good competition. You mentioned, both teams playing well right now. This is always a good barometer for where this SVU women's soccer team is when they play Randolph-Macon at this time of year. The Knights, they're coming off a 3-0 start in the USA South, and now it's time for a non-conference matchup to see what they've learned in those first few matches in the USA South Conference.
Yeah, now is the time to really apply, like you said, apply what they've learned and what they've seen and experienced thus far this season. And I mean, they've had some really good games, even non-conference games, but so far we can see that as they currently have that 3-game win streak in their conference play, you can just see they're learning and they're adapting as they go.
No, absolutely. The Knights, Coach Dahl, he constructed this schedule where they were going to be tested in that non-conference schedule before conference play. They went winless in those games. But Coach Dahl, he always said, this is going to make us better. This is going to make us better. We're a very talented team. We're a deep team. And with that 3-0 start to USA South Conference, I was talking to him last week, he feels a little bit validated in building that schedule that way. And he was excited, for this break in the conference schedule to host Randolph-Macon to see exactly where they are.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of when you kind of build up a harder beginning schedule, or pre-conference schedule, you will get tested, like you said, but also it kind of just shows that they're able to play and they're able to really put up a fight in those games that are maybe a little more difficult. But when it comes to these conference games, it just shows, okay, this is what we know we can apply, and it just shows how skilled they really are.
No, absolutely. It's fun to see. We were talking just briefly a minute ago as we still are waiting to get started here that this Southern Virginia women's soccer team, they swept the USA South Player of the Week awards this week.
Yeah, exactly. They came in and they dominated as having the Player of the Week as Courtney Montez, Haley Gadd for the Defensive Player of the Week, and Zoe Warner as the Rookie of the Week. They came in and they took over that.
No, it's always fun to see those conference awards. It's great to see when SVU can dominate those awards. And, you mentioned Zoe Warner right there. She's one of the great freshmen on this team that came in and, actually hadn't scored a goal in that non-conference schedule, but then she's taken off here in the conference, in conference play. She had two hat tricks, if I'm not mistaken, last week.
Yeah, and that's what we love to see. It just shows how much potential these players have, even as they get older.
And by way, we want to be fair to both sides here. A shout out to Kaylee Schur. She is a freshman for Randolph-Macon, and she was actually the ODAC Defensive Player of the Week this past week. So we got 4 Players of the Week out here on the field tonight, Cece. Should be a fun game.
No, definitely it will be.
We just get underway here as Randolph-Macon tries to push the ball up. We'll run down the starters here real quick for both sides, starting with Randolph-Macon. In goal tonight will be Erin Morris. She'll be joined on the field by Jackie Wenslick, Madison Blanchard, Talia Utak, Carolyn Blanchard, Alexa Storr, Abigail Pesut, Emma Owens, Allie Spangler, Kaylee Schur, as we mentioned, the freshman conference player of the week defensively for the ODAC, and Maddie Stubblefield. Maddie Stubblefield is listed as number 26 on the roster, but we have a correction. She's wearing number 13 tonight, so we'll make sure we get Maddie's name correct all evening. As the Knights have a throw-in. We'll go ahead and run down the Knights starting lineup now real quick. In goal will be Beth Manuel. She is joined by Courtney Montez, Haley Gadd, Esty Schneider, Ashley Hamblin, Delynn Peterson, Rachel Bodkin, Tessa Miller, Addison Newman, Natalie Blazer, and McKenna Curry round out your starting lineup for Southern Virginia. As Randolph-Macon looks to build something offensively, they just cross over midfield, met by the Knights defense. And now the Knights working that midfield area. Good ball played forward. Kenna Curry gives chase. And Randolph-Macon there with some strong defense. Number 15, Ashley Hamblin for the Knights. Randolph-Macon now on a counter attack. A ball through played. We'll have a cross across the front of the goal, and a shot will sail up and over the goal. But a dangerous moment right there, Cece.
No, yeah, you could kind of just feel the tension just out there on the field immediately as that ball was crossing over. As that's a weak point in a soccer game, really. That's a perfect spot where you want to go for. As defenders, it's hard to be in the right spot to prevent that pass from going through. But also as an offensive player, it's hard to execute it, but it just gives you a wide open opportunity.
Absolutely. As an offensive player, you're just kind of running on a line and hoping that you meet the ball at about the same time. But well played there. It was Jackie Wenslick, number 2, that played the ball across the box. Another ball played into the area, and that's going to be bumped and go into the goal. And the referee is going to give a foul there. So no goal for Randolph-Macon. Slight collision there between the player from Randolph-Macon and the goalie, Beth Manuel.
Looked like there had been a little bit of confusion with some of the Southern Virginia players as they were all raising their hands saying, hey, something had happened there.
SVU with a quick counter. And that ball's deflected over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Randolph-Macon. Aaron Morris, goalkeeper for Randolph-Macon.
It was a great speedy moment kind of right there, seeing the Knights advance the ball quickly and really just going in for the attack immediately off of that play. That's something you want to always be able to do is, okay, we want to bounce back, let's get going, let's go advance this ball as soon as we can.
Yeah, SVU typically likes those quick counter attacks, especially the ones that end in a shot attempt. You know, CC, if we go back to that dangerous moment there just a few moments ago, even though there was a foul whistled there, I'm sure that Coach Dahl is going to use that to kind of ask his team to wake up a little bit. 2 dangerous balls there in the first 5 minutes. I'm sure he wasn't happy with those.
Yeah, no, those moments are when you're like, okay, these are goals that are very easily preventable. As it just rolled in, like you said, it was just bumped into the goal. I mean, yes, it didn't count, but like you said, they're going to be reflecting and just being like, okay, those were very easy. Someone could have gotten there. Someone could have been on the right side of the defense. But what can we do immediately now to see and prevent that from happening again?
If anything, it shows maybe a breakdown in communication, something that early on in the game you want to take care of. The Knights now playing forward. Good ball. The Knights outrace the Yellow Jackets, and a shot will be handled easily by Aaron Morris.
That was a good hustle there by both the Randolph-Macon player and Southern Virginia players. Like you said, it was a foot race right there. Really, that one was a free man, whoever could really get there first.
Yeah, it looked like it was Addie Newman, the player that won that foot race and got that shot toward goal. Courtney Montez. Natalie Blazer. She'll lay that off to Lynn Peterson with a cross. Morris is there to deflect.
Great shot on goal, though.
Hamblin. The Knights were able to recover quickly and go right back on the offensive, but Randolph-Macon able to clear all the way back to Manuel at goal.
That was some great defense coming in from Randolph-Macon as they were able to kind of scramble a little bit and quickly prevent the Knights from going in and advancing the ball.
And that's the best way to be for Randolph-Macon. You know, the Knights, they like a lot of those short, quick attempts. And so sometimes, even if you're not able to make a counterattack, it's best for them just to clear that ball and head it the other way and not let the Knights just stay on their offensive end.
No, exactly. You just want to get it off of your side as quickly as possible.
Addie Newman chasing through the box. Just able to make a last-second attempt, and it will sail wide and result in a goal kick.
Already we've seen there's been a lot of action on that right side, especially on that right corner with Addie Newman. She's getting a lot playing right now. I mean, it's succeeding because they're getting these shots on goal and they're getting those attempts.
Montez and Curry playing strong defense. Foul whistled on the Yellow Jackets. Cece, this is one of the examples where Haley Gadd, she'll hustle up from her position on defense and take a lot of these free kicks near midfield, and she likes to send it down near the area.
Oh, yes, we've seen that all season. That's something that she's good at, and she loves to take advantage of the opportunity. And as you can see, she advances the ball well, and she clears it beautifully.
Looks like a little collision there in front of the goal. Morris came out and punched it away. There was both a Yellow Jacket and a Knight on the ground. The SVU player has gotten up and is walking away under her own power. Player for Randolph-Macon, she's also up. It looks like she will be okay, remain in the game. Always good to see.
Yeah, that's always a moment where you kind of, everybody who's watching and all the players take a breath. You look down, you're like, okay, is she okay? Let's make sure that she's all right. Because no one wants to experience those moments where you have to come out or where you're in injury, because that's never the goal.
Looks like that was Maddie Stubblefield that took the brunt of that shot. This is her with possession right now. She sends one forward. Cross there by Randolph-Macon. And another shot attempt that's going to sail wide right.
That was another one of those dangerous moments. What a moment of excitement for the Yellow Jackets is, again, they have a nice shot on goal. They immediately see that look and they're going to take it. But then for the Knights, oh, we don't want them coming up close.
No, the Knights have spent a little bit more time in their offensive end than Randolph-Macon spent on theirs, but each time Randolph-Macon has made it down, it seems like they are being very effective, getting some shots at goal. McKenna Curry battling here in the near corner. She'll be whistled for a foul.
I get the feeling that this game, we've already seen a little bit so far, but I get the feeling that this game is going to be a very physical, aggressive game. Both of these teams are very strong and they're very talented players, but we've already experienced a few of those fouls where we've seen people going on the ground, collisions happening. I wouldn't be surprised to see more of that tonight.
I think competitive is the word the soccer players prefer on that. It's
Yes.
going to be competitive.
Yes, and we love to see that.
Stubblefield. Back to Morris. They'll play a little keep away from Blazer. Randolph-Macon at the moment content just to build the attack from their defensive third of the field. Stubblefield now will send one forward. Curry gives chase and shields the yellow jacket attacker from the ball. Ball play is played out. Goal kick for SVU. Looking to come up the far side. Knights switch it, come up the near side. Ball played. McKenna Curry and Stubblefield. Sends it out of bounds. Hamblin with the throw in, and it will go out. Courtney Montez sends one to the top of the area to Addie Newman.
Something that we can already even see tonight is the skill and the agility that all of these players have. The talent that they're really having, controlling the ball and being able to send it where they want to send it. And really to be able, just like we were watching a minute ago with Randolph-Macon, just playing back and forth with each other, really just trying to kind of think through what are we going to do and make a plan. But also just the skills that how they're executing and how the plays are going back and forth between both of these teams. You can see the talent.
No, absolutely. This game, we look for it to be a fairly clean game with a lot of skill displayed on the pitch from both squads. Both are very adept at ball possession. Looks like Maddie Stubblefield is going to be subbed off for a moment. Have to wonder if she might be feeling some of the effects of that collision there in the area from that free kick off the foot of Haley Gadd a few minutes ago. Play resumes. McKenna Curry to Montez. Courtney looking forward to Addie Newman. Knights building a little attack. Good dribble there by McKenna Curry. Delynn Peterson takes the ball into the area where she is met by a yellow jacket defender. And that will be played for a goal kick.
There's been some great ball movement, really sharing the ball a lot in this game from both of these teams. We've been able to see that, and they're successfully doing that. And that's really how they're advancing the ball. That's how we've been seeing kind of those scary moments on both ends. They're a little dangerous, but they're executing it really well.
Randolph-Macon quickly forward. Wenslick sends one to the top of the area, well defended by SVU. Courtney Montez right at midfield. She sends one forward. Addie Newman giving chase just a little too far out in front, and Morris comes out.
Yeah, that one was barely too far. I give her maybe 2 more steps. She totally would have grabbed that one.
Randolph-Macon top of the area looking for a shot. And SVU a little bit better defense this time around, Cece.
Yeah, definitely. All of them you can see connecting with the ball with those headers, just really trying to get the ball in the opposite direction of their goal. And great defense coming in from the Knights. Really just trying to put a little bit of pressure on the ball, but also kind of just relaxing and letting Randolph-Macon move the ball around a little bit.
Looks like Reagan Patrick is the player that's come on for Randolph-Macon, number 21. Reagan is a junior out of Boise, Idaho. This is her bringing the ball forward for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets just playing the ball back and forth. Now they'll push forward a little bit. Cross to the top of the area. The flag went up. So offsides results in a free kick for SVU. We're now just under 27 minutes left in this first half. As we expected so far, a pretty even matchup.
Yeah, we've just even been able to see thus far the equal skill levels and also the equal control levels, just all the things kind of we've already mentioned. But both of these teams have been applying good defense. They've been aggressive. They've been going for the ball. They've been taking those opportunities where they've had that look on goal. And the offensive play has been really well, and there's just been so much that's been going on that's been really successful.
DeLynn Peterson is able to take the ball and sends a shot to the upper left-hand corner, and that's a goal for SVU. DeLynn Peterson. What a play.
That was a great shot right there. You can even just see the spin on that ball.
It's not often that we get a perfect angle from up here in the broadcast booth, right, Cece? But that one right there happened right in front of us, and DeLynn took that down the left side, and we could see with the left foot, she actually curved that in from outside the post, just up in the upper left-hand corner. What a shot by DeLynn.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play, even just kind of getting that steal, taking it, and going with it.
Another example of how SVU, they just like to attack in a quick moment. You know, Randolph-Macon, they had possession of the ball. No reason to expect anything was going to be happening. And just like that, DeLynn came up, took the ball, and took it from about 40, 45 yards out all by herself and put that shot into the goal. Addie Newman now lays it off again. Ashley Hamblin looking for an opportunity to cross. Randolph-Macon is able to defend, but that will result in a corner kick for Southern Virginia.
Once again, that's really how you want, that's one of the best ways to score in soccer is as soon as you get those little opportunities, really just taking it and going.
Natalie Blazer sends the corner kick. right across the mouth of the goal. It's played out. Knights retain possession with a throw-in. Another cross. McKenna Curry heads it toward the goal, and Morris is able to come out and pick it up. Yeah, Cece, to touch on what you said there. That was kind of like a point guard making a steal out at the top of the three-point line and going the other direction.
Yeah, it was like a fast break moment. She immediately just took it, and it was a great moment for Southern Virginia. That's always something we also just love to see, especially in the first half, in the first little bit, setting the tone, setting the offense, getting it going, but also it kind of just brings the energy. It keeps the team going, but also on the other side, it makes, at least for Randolph-Macon in this situation, think about it a little bit. Be like, hey, we're gonna do better defense. What are we gonna do? Let's get our own shots on goal.
And I would look for Randolph-Macon to definitely double down on their offensive side. Now they know they've got to get a goal here, on this evening. They can't leave with a tie or even a win if they don't find the back of the net. And so should make for the excitement level of this match to increase even more.
No, exactly, and that competitiveness that we were talking about previously, that's going to be up even more as well.
Oftentimes you watch a soccer game and it'll be 0-0, 0-0, but once that first goal is scored, it seems like the activity picks up on both sides. So it was already an entertaining game, but now that there's a goal on the board, I would definitely expect to see both teams pick it up a little bit more here. SVU would like nothing more than to grab one more goal. And of course, Randolph-Macon, they're going to look to equalize as soon as they possibly can.
It's a good shot. She saw that opportunity. She had that wide line just straight into the net, but Beth Manuel was ready for that, and she received that one well. Some great defense coming in from the Knights, really just tackling and doing their very hardest, trying their very hardest to really just take that ball away.
Randolph-Macon content to possess the ball as they look for some space.
Something that's interesting is, we talk about the energy rising and really just putting that kind of pressure on really getting those shots on goal, but something that we can see is even Randolph-Macon, they're, like you said, they're content. They're just controlling the ball, and they're just like, hey, we're going to do what we know we can do, and when that opportunity comes, we're going to take it.
Yeah, right there was a long ball played forward where Randolph-Macon was able to outrun McKenna Curry, and they made another cross, but it was well defended by SVU. Goal kick for Manuel. She'll send that to Hamblin. Reagan Patrick, ball finds Randolph-Macon. Another shot from about 20 yards out. And that sells a little wide left.
I think these shots that Randolph-Macon are taking is something that Southern Virginia's defense can take pride in. If they're forcing them to stay further away from the net and they're forcing them to take shots that are further away, like I said, the percentage goes down significantly. And so, I mean, if they're forcing them further and further back, then the likelihood goes down.
No, a lot of times you're content to give up those shots from 20, 25 yards. At the same time, Randolph-Macon, they're going to take those, hoping maybe they get a deflection or anything off the goalkeeper or a defender that allows for a follow-up shot. Randolph-Macon sets up a shot, and that is a little bit wide and over the crossbar. Patrick for the Yellow Jackets. She'll send a ball forward. Courtney Montez. Now Haley Gadd. She's pressed there by Spangler. SVU with some space. Ball played through. It's a foot race.
We've seen that multiple times tonight, just kind of sending that long ball forward, almost not necessarily cherry picking, but really just sending it forward because Southern Virginia Knights, those forward players, those strikers, they're speedy, and they know that, and they're going to use that.
Oh, definitely. It was a good ball played there. Just again, another foot race. DeLynn Peterson, she was the one looking to get on the end of that pass, but Erin Morris, goalkeeper for Randolph-Macon, was able to beat her to the ball. Allie Spangler coming up. Playing a little bit of defense, knocks the ball out of bounds. Throw in for the Knights. McKenna Curry. And that will be a corner kick coming up for SVU. As we are at 16 minutes remaining in this first half. Southern Virginia currently leading Randolph-Macon by a score of 1-0.
Now, there's been some great defense tonight. Randolph-Macon has really been pressuring Southern Virginia, and SVU has just gone with it in stride.
Ball played into the area, and it's headed in. That will be a goal. Southern Virginia. And it's Haley Gadd that gets the header off of the corner.
That's always something that's exciting to have in a game when you have a defensive player that's come up for one of those corner kicks and they're in the right place. And being able to head the ball in and go in at the angle that you want it and to execute that properly, that's really well. And that's really amazing to see coming from Haley Gadd.
No, absolutely. Haley Gadd. You know, she is just a workhorse on that defensive end. not afraid to come up for the free kicks, but for her, the senior out of Kaysville, Utah, to be able to come up and get a corner kick in front of her home crowd, it's got to be a great moment for her, especially to go up 2-0 against Randolph-Macon.
No, exactly. That's what you want to build up. That you want to get that early start. You want to get that momentum going in your favor, so that you can build off of it. You can keep going. But then also you do have a little bit of cushion as you go into. I mean, there's still quite a bit of time left in this half, but even when you go into the second half, you have that lead going.
Always good to get an insurance goal. Never too early to have that insurance goal, right, Cece?
Never too early.
Now Randolph-Macon, they will look, see if they can cut this night lead, at least in half, before halftime. Looks like there have been a couple substitutes. So Paige Citro onto the pitch, as well as Ariel Farmer.
Yeah, it's a little bit at this point of the game when the substitutions that you're making, you want to bring in some fresh legs, you want to bring in some fresh energy, but you also want to bring in people that have been able to see things and have these insights from the sidelines.
No, always good to have those players on the sidelines. They're able to watch, and when they get an opportunity, be able to go in and figure out a way to affect the game.
And that's definitely what you want. You want those players that as soon as they come in to be able to make an impact, not necessarily to come in and just be there, but to really make themselves known and really be able to help the team.
I'm sure Coach Patrick Corbett of the Yellow Jackets is hoping that these three substitutes can affect the game in a positive way here in the final 14, 15 minutes of the first half. There's one more sub coming on for Randolph-Macon. Ball played to Beth Manuel. She's able to pick the ball up easily and will send it. So substitute in for Randolph-Macon is Natalie Moxie. She replaces Allie Spangler up front for the Yellow Jackets.
And even just looking back on that play a moment ago with that shot by Randolph-Macon on Southern Virginia, they were doing a really good job of retaining the ball. They were keeping the ball at that one part of the field, just passing it back and forth, just kind of looking to build that opportunity and to have that look on goal. Because obviously you want to take as many shots on goal as possible, but you want them to be wise. You don't want to just be kicking it at the goal every single time. But anytime that you have a wise look where you can see it, you take it.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Corbett would like to see a little bit more patience on offense from his players, because sometimes those quick shots play right into Southern Virginia's hand as they're looking to quickly turn that around and get to the other end and take a shot of their own.
Mm-hmm. They're really good at just kind of picking it up and turning around immediately.
Will be a throw in for the Knights. An attempted cross there will sell wild over the end line. It'll be a goal kick. Aaron Morris. Good to see Stubblefield back onto the pitch. for Randolph-Macon.
Yeah, that's a good substitution that we want to see, is maybe when there's one of those players that needs a breather, especially after having a collision, being able to come back in and immediately make a moment.
A long shot attempt there by Randolph-Macon. It crashes off of the top post. What a shot. I'm looking to try and get the number. Randolph-Macon doing a good job retaining possession here. Throw in for Southern Virginia. Ball played through, picked up by Aaron Morris, the goalkeeper. That long shot off the crossbar a few moments ago was taken by Natalie Moxie. It was a great shot, was dangerous for a long time, and only the crossbar saved it for Southern Virginia.
You could hear even the crowd, everybody going, whoa, kind of just the energy right there when she hit that, because that was a beautiful shot that was taken. And if that had barely been, like, barely a few inches lower, barely too high.
She was about 30, 35 yards out from goal. She's sent a long, lofted shot, trying to get over the top of Beth Manuel. And now SVU, they have made some substitutions of their own. Lauren Madsen on the pitch, as is Sydney Bastian. Desana Grabarczyk and Abby Simister also into the match for Southern Virginia. So Coach Dahl giving some time, some well-earned time to some of the players that did not start. But that's the great thing, Cece, about the depth that Coach Dahl has over there on that bench. You know, we've seen it time and time again where even when he substitute, the Knights, they don't lack anywhere, and sometimes they even pick up the pace.
No, exactly. Those players that are coming off of the side, they're ready to play. And a lot of these players, even on this roster for Southern Virginia, there's 13 freshmen, and they're a lot of them are starters as well. But they're coming in, they're ready to play, and that's one of the great things also about having just such a good team. Is one, you have so many people that are ready to come in and play, but also when you get, as you were saying, those insurance goals, you're kind of building a little bit of cushion that brings the opportunity for these other players to come in and play and show what they can do.
And some of these players, you know, you mentioned the number of freshmen. You know, there's a lot of freshman starters, but there's a lot of freshmen that are pushing, you know, the players every day in practice. But then you have players like Sydney Bastian and Lauren Madsen. You know, she got married over the past year, so Lauren Madsen, that that they were starters last year. You know, they've started many games for Coach Dahl, so players that he's very comfortable with. They know the system, and they know what's expected when they hit that pitch. So like I said, they can come out and even pick up the pace and push it even harder than what the starters may have been doing beforehand.
Exactly. They come out, they know what they should be doing. They bring their A game because, like you said, they're experienced. They've been here for a while. But they come out here and they're like, okay, this is what we need to accomplish.
Free kick for Southern Virginia. And as we are accustomed to seeing, Haley Gadd comes up to take this. She sends it into the area. Ball's on the ground, and Randolph-Macon is able to clear. Moxie for the Yellow Jackets. Ashley Hamblin. Yellow Jackets are able to take it again. Number 7, Ariel Farmer.
You could even say in that last play, there was a little bit of scrambling going on from Southern Virginia, trying to get a hold of the ball. But then Randolph-Macon just immediately having kind of a calm feeling, just ready to go, just taking it and just advancing it.
Couple more subs coming on. Ella Boyce onto the pitch for Randolph-Macon, and Courtney Pack comes on for SVU. Coming up on just 5 minutes left in this first half. Southern Virginia leads 2-0, currently over Randolph-Macon. Farmer takes off, looking to push ahead for Randolph-Macon. Well defended by Southern Virginia.
These next few minutes are kind of the moments where you really want to push. At least coming from Randolph-Macon, you want to be pushing to get a goal. You want to be pushing to get on the scoreboard and make an impact as soon as you can, because you want that momentum to be going in your favor, especially when you're going into the second half. And as for Southern Virginia, you want to be able to keep it at how it is, at least. Like if we're on the defensive side, keep it at no goals, and even on the offensive side, to kind of just keep pushing it, but to kind of hammer the nail into the coffin and just keep the goals going.
No, absolutely. I would say these last 4 minutes now, as we're coming up on 4 minutes, Randolph-Macon, they would love to cut that deficit in half right now. Now's the time to be a little bit more aggressive, I would imagine. And like you said, now's not the time. SVU, their focus right here, even though they have a ball, Sydney Bastian in the area, that'll be played out, be a corner for SVU. The last 4 minutes, last 5 minutes, a goal is not necessarily the number one priority for SVU. Last thing they want to do is give up that goal that cut the deficit in half for Randolph-Macon. But right now, they were able to press a little bit. They come away with a corner. So at least for this possession right now, a goal can be the number one priority. The ball is on your end of the field.
No, exactly. It's kind of just knowing, having that knowledge as you're out there on the field.
And the ball is down in the area, shot at goal, and Randolph-Macon, the defender that was placed right against the right post, was able to make a save. Otherwise, that would have been a third goal for Southern Virginia. Yeah,
that was the right place, right time, knowing exactly where they needed to be, especially as that ball kind of just bounced off and was ready to just roll in. You could even see the keeper. She was ready to just go for it, and there was a little bit of that miscommunication, but they were able to defend that well.
50-50 ball, won there by SVU, and they maintain possession. They send a ball forward. Morris is able to scoop it up for Randolph-Macon. Randolph-Macon now looks to build something on the far side. And that ball is played forward and will go out of bounds, resulting in a throw-in for Southern Virginia with just under 2 minutes remaining in this first half.
Yeah, like we've been saying, this is the time for Randolph-Macon to cut that lead and really in half and really just get on the scoreboard. But I mean, you can even see this. They're really pushing right now, especially on Southern Virginia's defense. They're really trying to advance the ball and get a look at the net.
Cross coming for Randolph-Macon. It's a little to the wide side. They retain possession. And now a shot deflected. And SVU looks to clear. Ball pushed forward. Abby Simister is right there. And Abby will be called for the foul. Give a free kick to Randolph-Macon. It's on their defensive side of the field, so 45 seconds remaining.
You could see a few of the Randolph-Macon fans, as well as some of the players, were a little upset that there wasn't that call originally called, as there were a few seconds. It was a little bit late after that collision. And as soon as that was called, they were like, okay, let's advance it. Let's get going.
Natalie Blazer takes the ball away. She's looking for a cross. And Randolph-Macon is able to defend that. Morris picks it up. And with about 10 seconds left, looks like Randolph-Macon will now be content to run these final seconds off the clock here in this first half.
Yeah, these moments, you don't want to give anything up really quickly. You want to just be smart and wise and let that clock run out for now.
And with that, the referee signals the end of the first half of an exciting first half, Cece. I'm sure Randolph-Macon would like to not have given up at least that second goal. As the Knights will head into the locker room with a 2-0 lead. So we'll go ahead and take this timeout. Invite everybody to join us back here in about 15 minutes for the second half. want to welcome everybody back here to Knight Stadium as the second half kicks off. Women's soccer match between Randolph-Macon and Southern Virginia. Southern Virginia got a goal from both DeLynn Peterson and Haley Gadd in the first half to take a 2-0 lead into the half. And Cece, we were just talking that we're excited for the second half. We expect Randolph-Macon to come out and be competitive and really push to cut that Knight lead at least in half here in the first 15-20 minutes.
Oh yeah, this is the time to kind of bring that heat, because you're down 2 goals. You have a whole nother half. It's kind of like looking at, okay, let's restart a little bit, but let's get it going. Let's put some pressure on the Knights. Let's get some goals. Let's show them what we can do.
Absolutely. You know, a team the quality of Randolph-Macon, they're sitting there thinking, well, they scored 2 goals in a half. We can score 2 goals in a half. And once we get to 2 goals, then we'll get to 3 goals.
Exactly. You just want to build off of it.
So I don't expect any quit in this Yellow Jacket club at all.
No, definitely not. But that's the best part about sports, and especially sports where it's like you have 2 halves. You get another opportunity. You kind of can just restart, like have a reset.
Ball played forward there by Randolph-Macon. Farmer giving chase. And in the end, good defense played there by SVU as they were able to shield and get the goal kick out of that rather than giving up. The corner, Haley Gadd with some calm defense there. Ball was sent back to her. And she did not have a lot of space between her and the Randolph-Macon forward.
Yeah, they're able to quickly advance the ball, just get it moving forward off of their half of the field. Because, I mean, that's what you want to do. You just want to get it. You want to get it away. You want to clear it, put it in the part of the field where things happen.
Throw in for Southern Virginia. Ball's in the area. And that's defended and played off of SVU, so that'll be a goal kick. Morris. Ball played back to Morris. She'll send it to the far side. Randolph-Macon will try that side. Now reverse field. Talia Utuk brings it up. Farmer looking for a shot. She sends one toward the goal, and that is just over the top of the goal, and that will be a goal kick for SVU. So Randolph-Macon starting the second half much like they did the first half with a dangerous shot that was just a little too high.
Yeah, really just putting the pressure on Southern Virginia's defense. We're just seeing that now. They're getting aggressive. They're really wanting to put some pressure and really just get something going for them. That one almost even looked, that attempt on the goal, almost looked like that one was also going to hit the crossbar once again.
Yeah, it looked good for a long time and just sailed a little too high. Natalie Blazer now sends one forward. McKenna Curry with some space. She leaves it. DeLynn Peterson looking for an attempt with the cross. Esty Schneider with an attempt. And Natalie Blazer takes a shot, and that is deflected by the goalkeeper. And finally, Erin Morris is able to gather the loose ball in and put an end to that onslaught there by Southern Virginia.
Yeah, that was some great recovery right there. Getting that, kind of the ball just deflecting off of her hands, the ball getting that rebound from the Southern Virginia player, but being able to, Erin Morris being able to recover it and just secure it for Randolph-Macon.
We talked a little bit earlier, that's the reason why you take those shots. You're hoping for a deflection or a rebound or anything to give another opportunity. As Randolph-Macon into the box, a shot at the goal, and that is just wide. A nifty shot made there off the left foot.
That was a great shot. She's able to clearly just stop the ball, get control of it, get control of herself and her footwork. That was a great shot. And from our angle, it actually looked like it was going in.
Yeah, it looked very good for a long time once again. And that was Kaylee Schur with that shot attempt. And good defense there by Randolph-Macon. Poke it away from Natalie Blazer at the last second. And that ball ended up at the foot of Addie Newman. And Addie Newman just couldn't tuck it in to the lower right-hand corner, but she had a great opportunity. That's one of those where Addie Newman, the basketball player, feels like she missed a layup right there.
Yep, you have that opportunity just right in front of you, just barely missing it.
Farmer for Randolph-Macon, bringing it up. Randolph-Macon into the box. Haley Gadd right there to clear it. And the ball cleared there by the Knights. That's Tessa Miller.
I think something that we can all appreciate. This happened a moment ago. Natalie Blazer had a collision with one of the players on Randolph-Macon, both of the players kind of going down to the ground. But as soon as they were both up and as soon as the ball kind of was moved a little bit away, Natalie Blazer walked up to the other player and she like patted her shoulder and made sure that she was okay. I think that's something that we can all love and just appreciate about sports, is that good sportsmanship. Is we don't always see it immediately. Sometimes it happens behind the scenes or after a play has happened. But I think that's just something we can all love.
No, absolutely. That's something that never goes out of style, is seeing good sportsmanship. It doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter how heated the competition may be. It's great to see two competitors go at it, but then also show the respect to one another by helping one another up or checking on them, like you said, after the play kind of goes to a different part of the field. Randolph-Macon looking to build the attack. Farmer here making a good run. Again, ball played forward, and that'll be a goal kick for Southern Virginia. Randolph-Macon looking for Kaylee Schur. Ball was placed just a little bit too far ahead of her now. Randolph-Macon into the area, and 4 Knights are right there defensively.
You can already see the pressure that Randolph-Macon is putting on. They're just pressing on that defense.
Esty Schneider took the ball over midfield for Southern Virginia. And like you said, Cece right there, Randolph-Macon right there to put an end to that little run by the Knights. And the Yellow Jackets will look to bring it forward. Ball played out in front of Farmer. Ashley Hamlin able to clear the ball out of bounds for the Knights. Throw in for Randolph-Macon. Have a goal kick here for Beth Manuel.
She cleared that one. That one's soared.
Haley Gadd will send this back to Manuel in goal. Gadd and Bodkin try to get something going up the near side. Played too far in front of Bodkin. Emma Owens for Randolph-Macon. Ball taken away by SVU. Macon in space. And a foul is going to be whistled on Southern Virginia. That'll result in a free kick for Randolph-Macon. About 29 yards. Go ahead and call it 30 yards out on the free kick.
A little bit in a dangerous area where if you kick it how you want it to, if you execute it properly, it's going to be sailing high, but it's also going to be going in at a low angle. That's just going to be hard to see.
Alexa Storr over the ball, ready to take the opportunity. That goes right into the wall.
Good defense from SVU.
And then is cleared by SVU, and a foul given, which will be a free kick for SVU. Looks like the referee called a handball on Randolph-Macon. Randolph-Macon saying it just went off a thigh. Ball now played forward. McKenna Curry keeps it in along the far side, looking for a teammate. And that is deflected over the end line, and that will be a corner kick for Southern Virginia University. Looks like Natalie Blazer will take this kick.
Southern Virginia University is one thing that they're really well at, they're really skilled at, is these corner kicks. A lot of the time they either get they get a lot of shots on goal, or they even score a goal. That's something that they're well at with especially headers, but also just getting those deflections, especially like what just happened almost.
No, you're absolutely right, Cece. You know, a set piece, whether it's a corner kick or a free kick, anywhere, this side of midfield, the Knights can be dangerous. A couple of years ago, I saw them score in the last 10 seconds of the first half. They had a free kick at midfield, and they scored off of that free kick. So something that Coach Dahl works on quite a bit. He's got several players that are able to execute off of those set pieces. Addie Newman working on 2 Yellow Jacket defenders. Leaves it, Rachel Bodkin. And Rachel will be whistled for a foul.
One of the hard things as you're playing soccer is when you have 2 people that are fighting for the ball, it's one, you're being physical anyways, but you got to be able to not push or shove necessarily in a way that the way that you're not supposed to, obviously that would lead into a foul. But it's also incredibly hard to determine this between the physicality of just going for the ball or if it's really a foul.
No, you're right. Sometimes it's difficult to if you watch the soccer match, sometimes you wonder, what made the referee call that foul? Because you might have seen something very similar just a minute before that wasn't called. Always seems to be plenty of subjectivity to those fouls whistled on the pitch. Farmer with a good ball played through, just a little out in front. Ball taken again by Randolph-Macon. Owens. Throw in given to the Yellow Jackets.
Really good ball handling skills coming in from the Knights, as well as just being able to use your body, not only just just being able to protect the ball as you have a defender on you that's very close and just applying a lot of pressure.
No, it's quite the skill set to be able to be on your feet, manipulate the ball with those feet, and also battle with the upper body against a defender. Soccer is anything but a non-contact sport. Randolph-Macon looking to build an attack. Rachel Bodkin with some good defense, and a foul is whistled on Randolph-Macon.
Yeah, just like that again, being able to use your body to protect the ball. She was able to just extract that foul, get the Knights the ball, and give them that possession.
Haley Gadd will come up to midfield, take this free kick. As we were mentioning, always fun to see what the Knights might concoct here off of a set piece.
No, exactly. They're skilled at this. This is one of their strengths. But Haley Gadd is one of these confident players. She gets up there and she goes, I'm sending this in that direction at the goal with this strength and power that I have.
Randolph-Macon defends well. They have a counterattack started here. And the last touch is just a little too far out in front once again. So Randolph-Macon played a strong counterattack for 2/3 of the field. Unfortunately for them, the last third, they got just a little bit ahead of themselves. Misty Schneider leaves it for Blazer. Now Courtney Montez, midfield. Ball's taken there by Owens of Randolph-Macon.
It's awesome to see, though, that the effort that they are still putting forth. They're still taking these shots just like that. That was a great opportunity. She saw it. She took it. But it shows that their effort, that they're going to keep pushing.
No quit in this Yellow Jacket squad. As we expected, a very competitive second half being played. Delynn Peterson with a little bit of space and a little bit of head of steam into the area. And Delynn Peterson goes right past the goalie, Erin Morris, and Delynn Peterson scores her second goal of the evening. Goal, Southern Virginia. And that puts them out to a 3-0 lead here with just about 19 minutes gone in this second half. Once again, Cece Delynn Peterson showing a high level of skill there with that play and that shot into the back of the net.
No, exactly. That first half, we saw that goal, the angle that it had, and a little bit of the spin that it had. And even this goal that she just scored, she had two defenders next to her. She had the goalie. The line that she sent that in at was perfect.
Now, interesting, her goal in the first half came off her left foot. And if I'm not mistaken, the goal right here came off the right foot.
We love to see the talent, the skill.
And I'm sure Delynn was more than thrilled for her teammates getting those Player of the Week awards this week, but you know, DeLynn, she's already making a claim, you know, for herself to get some awards this next week in the USA South Conference.
No, absolutely.
Shot hit toward goal, saved by Beth Manuel. Came off the foot of Alexa Storr of the Yellow Jackets.
It was a great save. She kind of jumped a little bit, was up on her tippy toes. That required her to really just watch where that was going and see how she needed to help that. Just a little bit of those unfortunate turnovers sometimes immediately shift that momentum, as Randolph-Macon was just, you know, keeping their presence, just holding onto the ball. But those little moments are immediately going to bring all the Southern Virginia players into their half, bring all of them who have this energy from that goal that they just scored into kind of the danger zone where you don't want them to be. You want to prevent those. You want to keep a hold of the ball, honestly.
Absolutely, right there. You know, Randolph-Macon on the ball. Knights were spread out in their defensive setup, and then they lost it out of bounds. So a throw in, and that just brought the whole squad for Southern Virginia up into their offensive side of the field. Randolph-Macon responded well, though. Were able to defend that and earn a goal kick. Ball played forward once again, and that's kind of been the story of the second half. Randolph-Macon finding some space, sending balls forward, but just not able to complete those balls, find a forward at the end of those balls.
No, unfortunately not being able to connect. As soon as they can do that, they can really execute and get those connections to happen. That's when they're going to have those perfect angles and those opportunities.
Natalie Moxie back onto the pitch for Randolph-Macon. She provided a little bit of an offensive spark in that first half, so I'm sure Coach Corbett looking for her to do the same here in this second half as he finds his squad down by 3 goals with just over 23 minutes remaining in this match.
I think now is definitely the time that's like these next 22 minutes are going to be the time testing Southern Virginia, how they can hold out on their defense, how long their defense is going to be able to prevent Randolph-Macon, because Randolph-Macon is putting in a lot of effort on this offensive end and on Southern Virginia's defensive end. So as long as Southern Virginia is able to hold out and really just prevent Randolph-Macon from really going forth, that's what's going to determine the rest of this night.
Long shot attempt taken there by Caroline Blanchard. Easily saved by Beth Manuel. And to your point, Cece, I think it's a great point. You know, you've got 22 minutes here to step up your defense. It's going to be useful during conference tournament, to look and say, okay, right now we're ahead by 3 goals. We got a team that's skilled offensively, that they're really going to push these last 22 minutes looking for a goal or two. And what can we do as a defense? You know, communicate, right? Love to see the Knights really communicate right here on defense and be just sure on defense here these last 20 minutes. Quick restart by the Yellow Jackets. Natalie Blazer battling 2 Yellow Jackets, prevails, and the ball is cleared. Randolph-Macon with possession once again.
And even as we were saying a couple of minutes ago about how Southern Virginia is going to have to really apply more in their defensive game to prevent Randolph-Macon from going forward on their offensive end. On the other side, Randolph-Macon has got to up it on their offensive end to really, if they want to really win, they have to score. Well, in order to win, they have to score 4 goals. To tie, they got to score 3. And I mean, you don't necessarily want to tie or you want to lose. They got to really kind of scramble and get creative with how they're going to really put more effort in. Maybe not more effort in, but just be smarter with how they're going to take these shots.
Now's the time for them to maybe work on some of their offensive sets, figure out, they've just began their conference season in the ODAC, and it's a strong soccer conference. So, even if they're unable to score a couple goals and get it tight, just to work on some of those things that that are going to benefit them during their conference season as well.
No, exactly. And I'm sure that's something that Southern Virginia is also going to be thinking about. Okay, what are the things that we need to work on? How are we going to apply them? What are we going to do in this game to do that?
Be some substitutions here. The Knights had made a substitution earlier, as we see Sydney Bastian back onto the field as she was in the first half. Number 23, Brinley Julian, comes on for SVU. Abby Semister also back on, and Lauren Madsen.
Even like we were saying earlier about how Southern Virginia University, they have such a deep depth on their team for those who are on the field as well as the people who aren't playing right now. There's so much skill and talent that they can use, and as more of these substitutions happen, we'll just be able to see that the rest of the night.
It's fun to watch. Just kind of the relentless wave of talent that Coach Dahl is able to put out. There's a shot attempt by Moxie rather. That sells wide to the right. It'll be a goal kick for Manuel. Randolph-Macon continues pursuit of their first goal of the evening. Julian. Grabarczyk also into the match for SVU.
Yeah, these last few minutes, they were kind of just little bits of keep away.
Another shot toward goal by Randolph-Macon. Picked up once again by Beth Manuel.
Some good scrambling going on by the Knights, and some great defense that is being applied from Randolph-Macon. They're still pushing.
Knights into some space. Ball left. Julian looking for a shot. Back to Hamblin. And a shot off the left foot of SVU, that is Lauren Madsen. Shot saved by Morris. Sydney Bastian with good defense. Regains possession. Simister will send it wide.
For these next few minutes, I can imagine that Southern Virginia is really just going to want to keep the ball out of their side, out of their half of the field, but to really just be wise and smart with how they handle the ball, to just move it around, get some good, like we were saying, really just work on some things, get some good actions going, because at this point, you don't want to give up some extra goals, obviously. So you want to just be wise with how you're playing, but also to just work on things that you know you can do.
Yeah, right now, under 15 minutes remaining. Possession is the name of the game. So Knights are happy to play a little bit of keep away. You know, they have 3 goals. They don't need to go searching for 4 and 5. But what they want to do is watch the time click away off that clock.
Exactly. They want to use that to their advantage.
Randolph-Macon sends it forward. That's Wenslick. Wenslick makes a good move to get past Madsen. Good defense by the Knights. Send it out for a throw-in, and we will have 6 more substitutions. Macon with a shot that deflects off of a Knight defender, and Manuel is able to come out, put an end to that attack.
Some great defense coming in from the Knights, preventing that from happening.
Morgan Mesterhazy in for Randolph-Macon, as is Ali Spangler and Anna Turk. Esty Schneider back in for Southern Virginia. Have a goal kick for Southern Virginia.
The second half, we've seen a lot with Randolph-Macon on these throw-ins and also on these goal kicks. A lot more. They've been applying more pressure. They've been there. They've been making their presence known on that defensive. They're offensive, but the Southern Virginia Knights defensive side, applying pressure just so they're staying next to the goal. They're keeping their eye on the goal, but then they're also just making sure that Southern Virginia is aware that they are there.
DeLynn Peterson taking another shot on goal. DeLynn in search for maybe a hat trick of her own.
Looking to make a little bit more of an impact. Although she this year has made a great impact on Southern Virginia.
Well, absolutely. This is an opportunity in this game. You know, the Knights, you know, we haven't seen Zoe Warner and Tia Murray on for the Knights, so moving Delynn Peterson a little bit forward, giving her some more opportunity. She's been a very good playmaker, you know, playing on one of the sides, but now she's been the center of the attack tonight and shown very well. She's capable of doing that. Bodkin to Julian. Ball deflected there by Macon. Moxie plays it through. And that'll go straight to Manuel. Cece, you said 10 minutes ago, well, 12 minutes ago, to see how the Knights can organize their defense, and this has been a good 10, 12 minutes of defense for the Knights. The Yellow Jackets have found it very hard work to get anything through, you know, get anything really dangerous here in the last several minutes.
Yeah, this has been testing the Knights' defense, but it's also been allowing Randolph-Macon to really put forth that step and be like, hey, how are we going to do this? How are we going to score these goals? How are we going to do what we want to do in this game? But Southern Virginia has been doing really well preventing that from happening, and just as we're seeing right now, just being able to clear the ball and just get it away from their goal.
Not some very good defensive work by the back line, making sure everybody's organized. And we see right there another takeaway. And a foul will be given. That will result in a free kick for Southern Virginia. I think this is just a little out of their range, even though Haley Gadd comes up to take it.
That's the kind of player you always want, though. One that's ready to step up for the opportunity to take that shot, even if it's one where they're not maybe going to succeed, but they're just willing to even help their teammates succeed.
It just helps to be able to send it into an area of the field where there's plenty of teammates working together to keep possession of the ball. A little back and forth played there, and another ball sent forward. Again, we're seeing another ball played forward by the Yellow Jackets that's in space. Unfortunately for Randolph-Macon, just unable to connect. Peterson. She'll send it in to space. And the Knights working on an attack here.
Some good defense coming in from Randolph-Macon.
Good defense played there. And that ball will go out of bounds and result in a throw-in for the Knights and more substitutions. Looks like one substitution for Randolph-Macon. Farmer back into the game. And 5 or 6 Knights came on to the field. Esty Schneider to Bodkin. Grabarczyk. Rather, that is Sophia Harris. Peterson off the left foot, and that's going to go a little wide. You can see it from up here. Delin was getting a little bit excited, thinking that maybe this was her third goal of the evening.
Yeah, it's always fun to see the excitement, and just the attempts though are super exciting to see. Even though they're still going, they're still putting forth effort, even until the very end of this game.
Absolutely, you'd love to see that scorer mentality, which you can see right there. She's got that. You know, of course, she's scored the 2 goals already this evening, but she got that with a little bit of space in front of her, and she went after it. Sophia Harris battling for possession. Macon is able to retain. Allie Quigley into the match for Randolph-Macon. Abigail Paysuit as well.
Now Randolph-Macon currently just really trying to just control the ball, just seeing what they want to do and how they want to do that. But these next 4 minutes and 50 seconds are kind of when you want to make something happen. Not necessarily when you have the clock run out. You want to be putting forth the ball. You want to be putting those shots on. You want to be advancing the ball.
Macon continues possession as they continue to search for their first goal of the evening, and they'll be whistled for a foul. So that will put an end to that possession. Courtney Montez. Another throw in for SVU.
This is the part of the game where you just really want to keep advancing it. You want to be able to control the ball. You want to be able to retain what's been happening, and you want to be able to just keep everyone calm, settle it down. At least for the Knights, you want to be able to keep that control of the game that you've had.
Yeah, Knights were able to make their way down the field, mainly by throw-in after throw-in. And now it's Randolph-Macon's turn, deep from their defensive end with the throw-in.
Looked like there was a bit of some collisions going on there with some players, not necessarily flying around, but going up.
Macon had something going there, but as Knight fans are accustomed to, Haley Gadd makes her way up and imposes her will as a defender.
Randolph-Macon currently showing that they're really putting forth this to just not give up in these last few minutes. You can see even just them applying more pressure on the keeper and really just everywhere where they're going.
Knight's doing a good job here, maintaining possession as they watch The seconds continue to tick away as we approach 2 minutes remaining here. Throw in for Macon.
Some good defense from the Knights, really just coming forward and keeping the ball out of that side of the half.
One minute remains. And Randolph-Macon here trying to mount one last effort at scoring a goal. Defended well by Southern Virginia. Now Farmer with a little bit of space. She will turn the corner. She'll send one into the box. And two players tied up there in the area. Looks like Ashley Hamblin and Natalie Moxie. And the referee says play on. Be a goal kick for Southern Virginia. And we will now watch the final 10 seconds tick off the clock.
I think Randolph-Macon was really excited in that last play as they had both of those players that were ready to be there, but it was some good defense from Southern Virginia.
Yeah, always tough to tell. We don't have the benefit of replay here, but always tough to tell. Obviously, Randolph-Macon would have liked to have a penalty called there, had an opportunity to score a goal, but the referee said it was just two players making incidental contact, and the game has now come to an end with Southern Virginia coming out on top over the ODAX Randolph-Macon by a count of 3-0. So an exciting game that we were able to watch here tonight. 2 goals scored by DeLynn Peterson and 1 added there by Haley Gadd. You know, always great to see the Knight defender be able to come up and score a goal.
No, of course. Being able to utilize all of your players and have them utilize all of their skills that they have, that's exactly what you want to see and what you want to have happen.
We want to thank everybody again for joining us here on Night Broadcasting. We will be back here tomorrow evening as the men's soccer team. They will be continuing their USA South schedule as they are hosting check that. Friday night is when we will return. Friday night, women's soccer will once again be here on this field hosting William Peace. The men's soccer team returns to action here at home Saturday evening against NC Wesleyan. And of course, want to remind everybody of the football game that we will have here from Knight Stadium Saturday at 1 p.m. as the undefeated Southern Virginia Knights take on Greensboro Pride in a USA South matchup. So a busy week here for us at Knights Broadcasting. We have still 2 more soccer games and a football game. Again, we appreciate everybody tuning in and invite everybody to come back Friday night as this women's soccer team will return to USA South conference action against the Pacers of William Pace. Cece, good to see the Knights, you know, their first non-conference win of the season as they welcomed in Randolph-Macon this evening and were able to come out ahead 3-0.
Yeah, this was a great game to see. Both of these teams fought hard, and ultimately in the end, Southern Virginia was able to come out with the win as they were able to really get those goals that they scored. they were beautiful shots, and they were great opportunities that they took.
Absolutely high quality goals scored here tonight by Southern Virginia. Want to invite everybody again to like, comment, subscribe to Knights Broadcasting. Don't miss any of the action here right on Knights Broadcasting. And once again, for CC Bands, I'm Colby Kemp and the rest of the crew. We want to wish everybody a good evening, and as always, go Knights.